All of our embedded reporters traveling with the various campaigns, our so-called road warriors, have themselves miles to go before they sleep. Shaquille Brewster is our road warrior on the road with and covering Senator Bernie Sanders. He caught up with Senator Sanders immediately after the debate.
What did you think of your debate performance tonight?
It was good. Look, when you win the popular vote in Iowa and you win the Hampshire primary and you win the Nevada caucus, guess what? People go after you. I got that. But I think at the end of the day, there is a reason why we are beating Trump in poll after poll after poll nationally. There's a reason why we are beating him in Wisconsin, in Michigan, in Pennsylvania. And I think that that we cannot continue to have a government that works for the wealthy and the powerful. They want a government that represents all of us, and I feel pretty good.
You mentioned your name was evoked a lot on stage.
Yes, it was.
Were you ready for that? Were you expecting that going in?
Yes, I was. Look, again, when you win the first three elections, I understand that people are going to go after you. What is, always painful is that in a debate format, you just don't have the time. The moderators try to do it. You got 45 seconds to respond. You really can't. For example, I am very proud of my record. All right.
Guns came up. That was
guns came up.
Vice President Biden really got at you.
Yeah, well, I'm proud of the fact that I got a D- voting record from the NRA. I'm proud of the fact that 30 years ago, not yesterday, 30 years ago, I supported a ban on assault weapons, and that's my view right now. And I think we have a stronger position on gun safety legislation, which will represent the needs of the American people, not the NRA. But what does disturb me, I have to say, in these debates is sometimes, while all of the questions are good and important, we sometimes don't get to the most important issue, and that is, how does it happen that in the richest country in the history of the world, we are the only major country not to guarantee health care to all? We don't have paid family and medical leave. We got 500,000 people sleeping out on the streets tonight after giving $1 trillion in tax breaks to the top 1% and large corporations. How does that happen? And it happens because in America today, you have a billionaire class that has incredible economic and political power. Now, I know that's something the corporate media doesn't like to talk about. Certainly, we don't talk about it in Congress. But in the last 3 years, Michael Bloomberg himself has seen his wealth increase by $15 billion, and yet half of our people are living paycheck to paycheck. That is an issue that we didn't talk about in this debate, the last debate, the debate before. That is an issue we have to talk about.
Tell me about the moment that we saw where it seemed like you were almost arguing with the crowd or debating with the crowd at one point. What was that about?
Okay, that's an interesting question. Do you know how much money it costs to get a ticket down below?
How much?
I read that it costs $1,750. So to get a ticket to the debate, you have to be fairly wealthy. Most working people that I know don't spend $1,700 to get a ticket to a debate, and that's problematic. But, people, that's what the DNC did. But at the end of the day, I felt very good about the debate because I think, my opponents raised a whole lot of issues, and I think we were able to fight back effectively. I'm still standing, and I'm looking forward to the South Carolina primary on Saturday and Super Tuesday on Tuesday.
One thing that Mayor Pete brought up that you didn't get to address directly, he said, how can you lead a revolution when you're not willing to lead a change in the filibuster rule? I'm paraphrasing there, but I want to give you the opportunity to respond to that.
Here is a promise that I make. For all of the major legislation that I want to see passed, criminal justice reform, ending the absurdity of having more people in jail than any other country, legalizing marijuana, passing Medicare for all, passing strong immigration reform. We will do that with 50 votes plus the Vice President of the United States. We use the Budget Reconciliation Act. We could use other Senate rules to do that. But in terms of the filibuster, here's the problem. If you get rid of the filibuster tomorrow, then the United States Senate becomes like the House of Representatives. And I think the founding fathers of this country were not stupid. And they said, good, we're going to create the House majority rules. In the Senate, it's going to be a little bit different. And I think that that's okay. I think in the Senate, you want people to stand up. They want to filibuster. They want to get up and talk for 8 or 9 hours. I did that. They have a right to do that. But at the end of the day, if on all of the important legislation that I am campaigning on, we're not going to wait for 60 votes. We will pass it with a majority plus the Vice President of the United States.
You mentioned you would consider moving the embassy back to where it was. Why bring that up? Why would you consider moving that up? Or not bring that up, but why would you consider moving back to the original
location? What you want to do is, embassy location is a symbolic statement. on the part of the United States. And what I'm saying is it has to be looked at within the context of the United States doing everything it can, A, to protect the independence and security of Israel, but also, finally, providing justice to the Palestinian people. You got youth unemployment in Gaza, something like 70%. People cannot even leave Gaza, despite the miserable living conditions there. And I want, and my foreign policy will be to say to the Israelis, to say to the Palestinians, you know what, we're going to start working this stuff out. But it cannot just be a one-sided policy pro-Israel. It has to consider the pain and the suffering of the Palestinian people as well.
Anything happen on that stage to stop your momentum?
I think we did just fine, and I think the issues that we're talking about, raising that minimum wage to a living wage, $15 an hour, making sure that every kid in this country has the opportunity to go to college regardless of income, demanding that the wealthiest people in this country start paying their fair share of taxes. I think that's an agenda supported by the American people. I think that's going to get us past the goalpost.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.